D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I've read to bring you this video, and you can, read them for yourself, or you can just watch this video where I'm going to explain it all to you. Before I get started, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we just keep getting shoved to the back of the line. So please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, why don't we go ahead and get started on these 3 stories. So for my first story this week, I thought this was really interesting and I wanted to talk about it. I pulled the one up from comicbook.com, not my favorite website. I don't like their layout and everything, but so it said Anne Hathaway's new film, Mother Mary, allowed to keep filming despite actors' strike. Now, if you know what's going on in Hollywood, there's a huge actors' strike and writer strike going on. And these people have basically been allowed to cross the picket line without crossing the picket line. So let's just look at this article real quick. So it says Anne Hathaway and Michelia Cooley's newest film is the latest project allowed to continue filming amid the ongoing WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. On Tuesday, reports revealed that Mother Mary, the upcoming film starring Anne Hathaway and Coel, and directed by the Green Knight's David Lowery, has been given a SAG interim agreement, which allows it to continue filming even as members of the union are stopping work elsewhere. These exemptions are given to film and television productions that are regarded as truly independent, as opposed to tied to a studio that is a part of the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. At the time of this writing, these exemptions have been given to a total of 39 productions. Other projects that have received these exemptions so far include the CW's The Chosen and the Rebel Wilson-led film Bride Hard. A24, which is producing Mother Mary, and does not have ties to the AMPTP, also got approval for the Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega-led Death of a Unicorn. What is Mother Mary about? Let's find out, you guys. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be that great. Mother Mary is described as an epic pop melodrama following fictional musician Hathaway and her relationship with the iconic fashion designer Coel. Euphoria and Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes star Hunter Schafer is believed to be playing Hilda, the assistant to Coel's designer Sam. Lowery, Toby, all these people. Who cares? What is David Lowery's latest movie? Oh, yeah, it was Peter Pan and Wendy. What a piece of crap. I did a review on that. You guys can check it out. It was no good. So I'm not going to read any more of this article. Maybe I will. I need this video to be long. Okay, I hesitate to use the word grounded because it has fairies and flying children in it. Oh, never mind. He's talking about, I forgot this was him talking about Peter Pan and everything. But yeah, okay. So here are my thoughts on this. Sorry, it's this weird coffee, dude. I had to stop that video. But okay, so here are my thoughts on this. I understand why they wanted to have this whole thing go on where they wanted to stop production and then start it back up and everything because they're truly independent. But me personally, I go, why don't you stand with your fellow actors and be like, no, I'm not going to work on this. Hollywood is going to pay. They're going to pay up. They're going to approve. They're going to say, we're not going to use AI. And for me personally, I just go, that's what they need to do. They need to stand up and say, no, enough is enough. This is not going to happen. We're done. You're done. End of story. But at the same time, I do get it. They don't want to lose money on it, and they're losing money every day and everything. I just don't see why the studios can't come to the table in good faith and just let and give them just a little bit more of what they want. Me personally, I think the AI thing is just crazy. That would be the hill that I would die on. I'd be like, no, if you guys have AI, I'm not going to be doing this and everything. But we'll see where this goes. I mean, I don't know. I would stand in solidarity, but there's 39 projects and everything. For me personally, I just go, and The Chosen one, that production, that literally is 110% fan funded. Like, it's crazy. If you go look at that Chosen thing, they're doing some interesting stuff, and by interesting I mean good. So that is my first story of the week. So for my second story of the week, and this one saddens me, you guys, but we're gonna have to talk about it. So last week I did a video about how they were making a live action Gargoyles movie from Disney, and Kenneth Branagh was going to direct, and it looks like that's probably not true. So let's read this. This comes from comicbookmovie.com. Also not my favorite website, but whatever. So it says, Gargoyles creator Greg Weisman responds to rumors a live-action movie is in the works from Kenneth Branagh. It says, despite it widely being reported that Sir Kenneth Branagh of Thor and the Perot movies is gearing up to the helm a Gargoyles movie, the show's creator Greg Weisman has now debunked those claims. Read for additional details. I was so bummed when I saw this headline. Like, you guys have no idea. I was so happy last week when I thought we were getting a live-action Gargoyles movie, and now it's not happening, and I'm like, no, I want it so bad. But maybe it's for the best. Sometimes we just need to not have these live action movies because it might, be bad for the original project. So, all right, so here's what it says about this. So it says, produced by Walt Disney Television Animation, Gargoyles only ran from 1994 to 1997, but became a cult classic and remains beloved to this day. The spectacular Spider-Man showrunner Greg Weisman is widely credited as the show's creator, and it's drawn favorable comparisons to other classic animated franchises from the 90s, such as Batman the Animated Series and X-Men the Animated Series. I would agree. All three of these animated shows are fantastic. So it says, it may have wrapped up decades ago, but Gargoyles has remained at the front of people's minds. So true. It finally received a continuation in 2006 for a 3-year comic book run from Dynamite, though fans remain eager for a proper revival, whether it's another animated series or perhaps even a live-action spin on the property. They have some new comics out. I haven't read them yet. I bought them, but I just haven't read them yet. It's timing. I don't have time, So it says, this past week, it's been widely reported that Gargoyles movie is in the works from Thor and Death on the Nile director Sir Kenneth Branagh. Needless to say, the prospect of the filmmaker helming a live-action take on the iconic series was cause for celebration among fans. But Weisman has since taken to Twitter to claim there's absolutely no truth to this news. Now, before I get into his comments, he could be lying. It's not out of the realm of possibility of him lying because he wants to make it a surprise or whatever. But let's just pretend he isn't lying, because why would he lie? But at the same time, he could be lying because he doesn't want people to know. But as soon as if there's set photos outside and people take pictures of them, we'll know. Anyways, I'm thinking he stated in response to a fan who shared the rumor that it's flat out not true. So it says, while this seemingly puts the story to bed once and for all, it's worth pointing out that Weisman may well be out of the loop when it comes to Disney's plan for the property. I mean, that's another thing that could totally be true. They could be working behind the scenes and be like, sorry, you don't get to decide whether we make a live action movie. Earlier this year, he was quoted as saying, I don't own Gargoyles. I don't get a dime off of it being on Disney Plus. I've always wanted to do more. I've got a timeline for the show that's 315 pages long. I've got notebooks and comp books full of ideas for it, spin-off notions, and all sorts of things, which I would love to see. Disney likely doesn't have to involve Weisman in whatever they do next. Another reason for that WGA strike. But doing so would win over a lot of fans. For now, we're obviously going to just have to wait and see what happens. Would you like to see a live action spin on Gargoyles? Absolutely. And then this is the tweet that he did. And again, they're correct. They could be doing it behind the scenes. But for me, I just go, why wouldn't you have Greg Weisman involved? I mean, they're talking about like not paying him and stuff. And I just go, yeah, but just pay him. I mean, come on. If he's got ideas and he came up with the original concept in the first place, and it's very obvious that after season 2, when they did their own thing with season 3, because he wasn't involved in season 3, it was very obvious that he knew what he was doing and you guys don't. So why would you not incorporate him into this project. And I just go, that would just be the wisest choice, in my opinion. And I really hope that this is not true and they still are making it, which I will make another video about it if it comes out that they really are making a live action. But for now, I'm just going to say, bummer that this is not happening. I'm super sad now. But we'll see. Maybe there's a glimmer of light in the future. So that was my second story of the week. So for my third and final story of the week. Okay, you guys. So I wanted to talk about this story because it's gotten some controversy, and there's been set photos that have leaked online of stand-ins for this Snow White movie. And I've been talking about this movie and the casting and such, but this movie seems to be plagued with bad luck and controversy all the way around, and it looks like it's just going to be a terrible freaking movie. And I'm sorry, I haven't liked any of the live action Disney movies, but I want to talk about this now because, again, controversy has erupted over the images of the Seven Dwarfs, and a lot of people have been talking about it, and it's very obvious that Disney, took one thing that, Peter Dinklage said, because Peter Dinklage is an asshole, and decided to change up the format of the Seven Dwarfs. And they're no longer, first they were dwarfs, then they were magical creatures, and now it looks like they're called bandits. Ooh, yay, fun. Nobody cares. This movie is DOA. I just want to say that right now. I'm not going to see it. You're probably not going to see it. It's just DOA, and they should just scrap it. They should take a tax write-off for this movie, because how they can get a tax write-off for it is if they don't do any promotion for it, which they haven't done yet. If they don't do anything to promote the movie, I guess that's like what they can do, like what Warner Brothers did with Batwoman. So let's take a look at this, and let's go. So it's Snow White, Disney's controversial remake, reportedly reimagines Seven Dwarfs as a group called the Bandits. Ooh, spicy, I guess. Anyways, Hollywood has come to a halt as a result of the WGA and SGA AFTRA strikes, but all anyone can seem to talk about this week is Snow White. Now, a new rumor claims to clarify the role of the Seven Dwarfs. Okay, good. It says Disney fans are understandably excited about the upcoming Snow White remake. No, they aren't. They're not excited about this. Get the hell out of here, Josh Wilding. You don't know what you're talking about. You're so dumb. But beyond that, the movie has largely flown under the radar. The Amazing Spider-Man director Mark Webb steps behind the camera to helm the reimagining with Shazam, Fury of the Gods, breakout Rachel Zegler playing the title character. I just want to say I do like Rachel Zegler. I have nothing against her. I know she's a Hispanic actress playing a character that is white. If you've ever read that Grimm's fairy tale, the reason she's called Snow White is because her skin is pale white, and it talks about her lips or the color of blood. Anyways. So, but I have nothing against any of the actors in this. It's badly made decisions by Disney and everything. So anyways, as for the Evil Queen, Justice League's Gal Gadot is lending her talents as one of Disney's most iconic villains. The original Snow White remains a beloved Disney classic, but none of the early Walt Disney movies have aged particularly well in the decades since they were made. False. They have aged well. They're just fine. You just a lot of whiny bitches out there. The world was a different place then, and we heard early on that this remake likely wouldn't include the Seven Dwarfs. No, we didn't hear that. The only time we heard that was after Peter Dinklage went on that podcast and started running his mouth. And the problem is because he's a little person and he didn't want to see any other little people getting jobs, because then they might be the new breakout little person star. And he didn't want anybody in his limelight. That's the point, taking roles that he could get. That was the problem. He's a selfish motherfucker. Okay, that's his problem. He can suck a dick. Anyways, you think Disney might have figured out a way to portray them in a way that would avoid offense. No, they're dwarves. They're dwarves. Dwarves exist and everything. And little people have come out. But the more dwarves don't exist in the real world because they're mythical creatures or whatever. But in things like Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, in other things, what's it called? Narnia. Dwarves exist. And Peter Dinklage played a dwarf in the Narnia movie. So what a freaking hypocrite. He's such an asshole. Anyways, and I like him too as an actor. He's such a good actor, but he's such an asshole. Anyways, but you know, actors, they're all assholes. Anyways, but Set Photos recently revealed a group consisting of one little person and a number of diverse male and female actors of regular stature. People were quick to share their annoyance with Disney being criticized for its politically correct approach to these iconic characters. Now, this is the group. Don't worry, I'm going to pull up some more pictures, and we're going to talk about this, you guys. Now, a reliable scooper via sffgazette.com has shed new light on this team, revealing that Snow White's new saviors, that Snow White's new saviors are called the Bandits. They sound very much like Robin Hood's merry men, while one of their members is said to be replacing Prince Ferdinand as the title character's love interest. All signs point to this being a loose adaptation of the original Snow White, and that's bound to be problematic for a lot of fans, this one included. Disney has struggled when it comes to its remakes, in either delivering shot-for-shot remakes, The Lion King, what a terrible movie, or delivering new interpretations that lose much of what made the cartoon so well loved, Mulan, and Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid sucked. Snow White is set to be released in theaters on March 22nd, 2024. I say, and then here's this guy. So, yeah, and like this guy, My Time to Shine, hello, he is a scooper on Twitter. I follow him, and he has a good track record. So do a bunch of other scoopers, but, you know, whatever. So it says, the people that save Snow White in this version are called the Bandits. Jonathan, the male love interest who isn't a prince, is also a bandit. The Bandits are like Robin Hood. They steal from the queen to feed the poor. Ew, not interested. All right, let's real quick pull this up. I want to pull these pictures up for you guys. Okay, so here are the Bandits right now. And we have a wonderful collage of merry men. I'm assuming this guy right here is Jonathan, the prince, not the prince. And he's the love interest for Snow White. And wow, these look terrible. Is this one wearing a suit jacket? What's going on here? These look terrible. Okay, so let's look at it. So we've got this little person up front. And if all of these dwarves would have been bandits, would have been little people, but you know what? I say, fine. Let them not be little people. Hire regular sized people and turn them into dwarves. Do whatever you're going to do, because you just Disney and Hollywood just miss out on an opportunity of giving little people jobs. Okay. And Peter Dinklage is the reason why they're not. So I say blame him because he's the reason, and fuck him. He's an asshole. Anyway, sorry, I'm doing a lot of swearing this episode or this video. I am really annoyed with him about this situation because, you know, little people are already marginalized and they don't get enough work as it is in Hollywood. And now they're given the opportunity to possibly be standouts in this movie. And no, not going to happen. Not going to happen at all. Anyways. So you get, you know, this guy with the fro. I mean, great fro, but I mean, okay, you get Jimi Hendrix. You get, I don't know what this guy's going on, but you get this little body positivity bandit. Good for him with the rope. Look at that. Yeah, well, you know. And then you get these two ladies, you know, because, you know, great. And then you get this dude with his headscarf. What's going on here? I mean, hipsters galore. These look freaking awful. I mean, even the prince. I mean, I would not fuck him. He's not hot at all. But yeah, no. Wow. What? This looks terrible. They look terrible. This movie's going to be terrible, and it's already plagued with so much. The set went on. Got caught on fire. Like it went up in flames, and they had to like rebuild it and shit. So I just go, it's went from, you know, you're casting, you've gotten crap for casting, Rachel Ziegler as Snow White. Your set burned down. The costume came out. I don't know if you guys saw her in the costume, but it looks cheap as shit. And now you have this problem. DOA, it's DOA. It's going to make less money than Little Mermaid. What a flop. Like high flopperella. And it's just not going to be good. I can tell you that right now. And anybody that thinks it's going to be good, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. DOA, $0, flop at the box office. All right, and Disney, they just keep taking hit after hit, flop after flop, and they don't learn their lesson. They don't course correct. They just listen to everybody bitching and moaning on Twitter or Peter Dinklage bitching and moaning on some podcast, and they go with it. And it's gonna, crash and burn. Crashing, you just, like Joker says, you deserve what you frickin' get, and Disney deserves this, so I don't feel bad for him at all. All right, you guys, that was my final story of the week. Tell me, what do you guys think about all of this? How do you feel? How do you feel about Anne Hathaway and these other ladies, not necessarily crossing the picket line, because they didn't cross the picket line, but they did, and they got the go-ahead, so I can't fault them for that. They did get the go-ahead, so good for them. But how do you guys feel about the fact that they're still filming these movies and TV shows and given, the blessing of SAG and everything? Are you guys okay with it? Or are you like me and you're like, man, come on, stand with your fellow actors, they're fighting for the same thing you are. And I understand, but at the same time, I just go, come on, we got to have a united front. But, maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe I'm in the wrong, because these independent projects are losing money. And granted, if they're not getting, if they're being able to film and they're not, those production companies are paying them well, or they're fan funded, like that Chosen show, then I say, fine, I don't know, man. It's very up in the air. I don't know what to say about it, but I'm kind of like, whatever. Also, tell me, how do you guys feel about this Gargoyles movie, live action movie, not being made? According to Greg Weisman. Now, he could, like I said before, and this article said that I had read to you, he could be wrong. He could be 110% wrong, and they just haven't involved him at all in it. But I just go, if they haven't involved him in it, mistake number one. And if they haven't involved in it, maybe it's not happening, but I hope it does. I'm like, when I read that article last week, I was so excited, you guys. And I'm still excited for it because I just want to see these characters come to life, Me and my kids watch that show all the time. I have the action figures from the 90s that I had as a kid, and we play with them and stuff. And I just want it so bad, And then finally, tell me, how do you guys feel about these bandits / dwarves / non-dwarves, Snow White overall, this remake? Are you like me and you think it looks terrible altogether and it's DOA? Or are you on the optimistic side of it and you think that this is going to be a hit and it's going to be great, and you don't care that they're not dwarves anymore, that they're bandits and fully sized, people? Or are you like me again? And I really feel like this was an opportunity for Disney and Hollywood to say, because they could have hit back Peter Dinklage and came out and said, no, we're going to hire little people because they're a marginalized community. They need jobs too, and they need to stand out. Maybe we'll find the next Peter Dinklage in these 7 actors or actresses. You could have put a female dwarf in there. I wouldn't have done it, but you could have done it. But no, they didn't. They pussied out and they gave in to, a whiny little bitch like Peter Dinklage. And now people are out of a job, I mean, people got jobs, but they're people that probably would have got jobs anyways, And granted, these are just stand-ins, like I said before, but still, they're obviously going to be, somewhere in there. All right, you guys, that's all I got for you this week. Tell me, what do you guys think about this? Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my week in review.